Okay, welcome back to another coding session. Jan is joining us today, and maybe other people will pop in. I want to say hi, Jan. If you want, you don't have to.
Yeah, hi y'all. This is my first joining the live bit, so I'm going to catch up and I'll probably ask a lot of stupid questions along the way, but hopefully you'll need the answers to some of those stupid questions too.
Those are the best questions. Also, I already have questions like why are my GitHub issues so short and probably not descriptive? So I've entered basically since last time. I've put in some issues. A lot of stuff like, let's see. I don't know, we talked about that one. We have this legacy footer script that I'm going to have to port over. Oh, yes, the image size stuff. So maybe this is helpful, Jan, for context. Our image resizing thing, I slightly rewrote and I was like, oh, I'm going to change the convention. So before it was like, if it was a 640 image, it was in a path 640 / story name. And now I was like, I'm going to switch it to -640 because I feel like that's more of a normal convention. But then I realized we have plenty of legacy projects that hit those image files already. So I'm going to have to revert this. Anyways, that's that task. Let's see. I'll definitely start with that because that's easy. Oh yeah, renaming our assets folder to common because again, legacy stuff. Good job with labeling there. But currently our site expects, so like, let's just go to pudding.cool. If we look at the path of this image, right, it's in this common assets, blah, blah, blah folder. And I want to preserve that again, because like other places use this reference. So I don't want to break stuff, and I could probably rewrite things, but that would be more involved than just sticking with some previously used folder conventions. Oh yeah, the favicon. How do you pronounce it, Jan?
I don't know if I've ever like pronounced it outright. I feel like I've just like read it. Yeah.
I'm going with favicon. Anyways, that's a thing I could revisit. I found a link about modernizing it, and you don't have to use as many crazy things. Oh yeah, our pitch form or pitch documentation. I guess this was something that, depending on where we end up with the design and stuff, I was like, it could be nice to turn that into a form. Like people enter stuff rather than having to like email us. I know we've debated that back and forth before. Import data versus fetch. This is a big one, and I'll explain this when we get back to it. Small things like handling 404, not hydrating. So some pages might not need JavaScript, so we can maybe make them more streamlined. This is, yeah. Oh, I mentioned that here. Okay, so anyways, that's duplicative. Why did I do that? All right, I'm going to start with what I said was the easy one, which is restoring that image size folder. So right now, when we run, I'll just do it again, npm, I think, run thumbnails. Yep, so we had this thing that generates our thumbnails. And where did it put it? It put it in static thumbnails. Okay, so I'm going to go back on this and put these into subfolders, which I actually don't even think we need make derp, because when I ran this once, it seemed to work. So I think we can just do, oh wait, that's not where we want to do it. What am I? Okay, let's see. I should just copy and paste what I had before, but oh yeah, this was just checking for if an image already existed. Right. So we just want to pick a specific. Okay, I know what I'm doing here. We just want a specific folder to check if the image has already been processed. And if it has, don't do it again. So path out slash sizes of 0. So, right, this is going to read in all JPEGs in this folder, all JPEGs in the thumbnails folder, which right now is just one for testing. And it's going to only return ones that don't exist in both. Let's go ahead and delete these 3. I don't know how to multi-select files. Okay. And then where else did we mess with stuff? Resize. We don't need to rename it, so that's a moot point. So get rid of that. Oh, nice. Love the strike through. File and bring back size. Okay, so now it should create a subfolder. Let's see what happens. Oh, didn't like something. Oh yeah, that file doesn't exist. So maybe I do need to bring back the make derp. And then actually, what was it? I think somewhere at the beginning it was like sizes dot for each size. Make derp dot sync path out slash size. So then the folder will exist or be created if it doesn't exist already. Nice. Okay. And there we go. We have our
Is
640.
the advantage to just doing that inside the kind of file so that you can just add, whenever your sizes array changes, you can add it instead of having to go through and check, and instead of just doing it in kind of, I guess the WYSIWYG editor.
100%. So if and when we change these, we never have to, like, the goal, right, is less manual intervention, because then in theory I should have documentation about you need to manually add this. So I'm trying to protect our future selves for when we change our mind, which is often. Okay, so this is back to normal, which is great. Let's actually go ahead and bring over all of our pre-existing thumbnails from our old jump site. Thumbnails, yes. So many. How many? 171 thumbnails? That's crazy. Do you feel like you've made 171 thumbnails, Jan?
Yeah, I was like, that doesn't seem so far off. Because when we did the last redesign, I remade like all of them. So it's a lot.
I guess some other people have contributed. You've definitely made 100 though. I know you've made 100 for sure.
Easy.
All right, this will take a while, but this will be good. Let's go back to our code. Let's run the thing. Yeah, I mean, it has to go through every single one. It's going to have to be done at some point. And this deduping get new images is nice because every time we add one, it's not going to go through all of these, right? So, all right, let's let it do that thing and let's move on. I'm going to consider that closed and we'll move on to something else. Also, I slightly apologize for how haphazard this is unfolding. Sometimes it behooves me to plan stuff in advance, but in all honesty, I kind of like just organically figuring out what to work on as it seems more important. Where is even this one? Oh yeah, this one. Okay. Next, I wanted to talk about this one. This could take the rest of the session, if not more. Because if we go to what we've done so far, actually, let me open a new terminal. And let's actually run the site. Hopefully it doesn't mind that stuff is updating. Okay, that's good. So this is our website, by the way, now, Jan, if you're curious what it's going to look like.
Looks great, better than the RSS feed.
Slightly better. Okay, so all that's really happening here, if we go back in time, we are importing our story CSV. We are then saying these are the only keys from that spreadsheet that we want, because there's more than that. And then we have this generic parse stories function because different pages might want different properties from the story. And the parse stories function doesn't do too much. It basically just cleans up the data. We have some time parsing, splitting strings to arrays, making slugs, all that fun stuff. This is totally duplicate now. I'm just going to delete that. And returns the results. Let's see, can I get rid of an image? Okay. And then, okay, so this is our index page. And Jan, because I don't think you've played around with, oh, why did I just close the terminals? I wonder if that just stopped the process. Shucks, it did. Oh, cool. Also, I know it didn't start the same one. So, oh, what happened? Oh, what? Interesting. Maybe because it's, I don't know. I'm not happy with what just happened. Let's close some terminals. Let's see. Was it spitting out files? Oh, it totally was. Yeah, I've got through a lot of them. Why isn't it happening? Whoa, crazy. Is it this one specifically, or is it like, why would it need so much memory? Is that like a massive file? What's happening here? It worked once. Thumbnails. What was it? 3 seconds.
It is a massive file.
Why is it so big? Is it that massive though? Like, do we have other ones? Is it the biggest file? It is the biggest file. That is curious. Why is also the memory only limited to 90 megabytes? First thing I'm going to try is the tried and true. Let's bump up the memory. So in thumbnails, what is it? Not going to remember off the top of my head. Memory. Script. Max old space size. That's the one. Let's click the first link. That's not the one. Okay. I think we can go higher. What are the numbers? I've done this on a project before. Let me go dig one up. I'm gonna guess library. Totally. All right, go with that. I mean, you should probably just also make that not as massive, because then it doesn't need to be in the repo, but let's try it again. Maybe this is a limitation of the of GIMP. Let me also actually, I'm just going to delete that one for now. And then just to make sure it can work on another one and I'm not barking up the wrong tree. Okay, yeah, it has to do with that file. Crazy. I wonder why it worked once. Maybe, I don't know. Can we undo the delete? Yeah, so that should be back there. Shoot. I don't remember where it was. I gotta go dig it up. Oh wait, we still have, there we go. That's the same folder. Good stuff. I mean, is this 19th? Oh, well, there's our problem. Or that's why it's so big. Let's just start there. I mean, let's reduce some of these other ones too, because I have a feeling. I mean, that one's just off by 1. That's hilarious. Why is that so big? All right, let's see if that gets us back on track. Yeah, interesting. I wonder if there's a way to increase memory size in GIMP. That would be my next step. Okay. That was a tangent. Are you still here, Jen? Or am I talking to myself again?
No, I'm absolutely still here.
Yeah, not that it matters. Oh yeah, maybe because I was partially explaining what was happening here. So yeah, this is like the server side part. It grabs the stories, returns them as props. And then down here, the second script tag is like more of like the normal component where it can basically import these props, and the prop is what we set it up here. So this is like functioning as our server, getting the data, passing the stories, which we do pass to this home component, which right now just renders the stories. And it logs out the first one to show that we actually cleaned the data. Let's bring our log back. Console. Okay. However, now getting back to this issue of import data versus fetch, I have learned that during the build, my hope was that this isn't actually imported and passed on to the front-end component, but actually all the raw data is, and the point was to like clean it and parse it and have it be a reduced size. So all that being said is we now need to, I think, look into actual SvelteKit endpoints, which I haven't used before, which should be an interesting kit thing to dive into. So basically we can create a little API and which will return the data. And I think it should actually just return the stuff we want rather than like embedding the whole file. And maybe actually if we, I'll show you what I exactly mean, if that's to be clear. Settings. Let's look at the build folder. Okay, so this is what's actually built out when you render the page. and you'll see all like the static titles are here. But it brings in a bunch of other stuff. So I think index, we'll probably look at pages index, pages index. And as you scroll in here, boom, you'll see it actually right off the bat. This is like the full CSV data file essentially. And we don't want last checked and other stuff. So that's not cool. That's just like a waste. So I wanted to like really optimize this. So we'll try out endpoints and see if that actually helps us. I think it will, but otherwise it'll be a good exercise to know for future stuff. Okay, so back to the docs. So basically, yeah, in the routes folder, we can have pages, which are just Svelte components, and then endpoints, which can do data stuff. So like your get and post. If we do a form, we'll end up using an endpoint. So maybe this is a good foray. So this is their example of an endpoint. We're just going to do a little get, and let's start there. Let's see how much stuff will break. Oh, sweet, we finished our thumbnails. That's going to take a while. It's going to upload all the images. Okay, so if we look in routes again, we've got our pages. I'm going to create a folder. Let's see, source routes. And let's make a directory called API. And inside of API, we'll make, I think it could be a JavaScript file. So we'll call this one, I don't know if I want it to be for all stories or just a homepage. Let's just go with stories for now, stories.js. And let's paste this. We don't care about the parameters right now. We might. Let's just comment that out. And where we're going to return, I think we can just return straight up JSON. Again, let's start simple. Test. Hi. Yeah. Okay. That's not a thing. That's not a thing. We have a get request, and right now it just returns some JSON in theory, I think. Let's see. I mean, it's not even technically JSON, so I wonder if I'm assuming Svelte handles that. I guess we'll find out. Okay, let's go back to index and let us use fetch. So, oh wait, fetch, and I think it is API. Let's see. Fetch URL. Here we go. Oh, interesting. You can maybe just do the JSON file, which we don't have currently, but maybe we want to do all our data processing in the fetch. Sorry, in the API GET request. I don't know. There we go. Const URL equals API / stories. Not sure. I don't think we need an extension. We'll find out. And then, yeah. If res okay, let's just go ahead and log out. Wait, response.json to convert it if it actually is JSON. Oof, okay, so basically we're not actually doing anything. We're just testing to see if this works like I think it does. And not running anything. I don't think we have a server even going anymore. Hey, oh, look, everything worked. I think, look, we got a test high logging out on the server side, and interesting on the front end. Why does it need to log? So it hits it again on the front end. That's, that seems unnecessary. So let's go back to endpoints. Oh, here's the body parsing stuff. Cool, it does do it for you. That doesn't explain what I'm looking for. If we can, so this runs both during server rendering and the client. Interesting. Oh, okay. It makes a copy of the response when you use it and then sends. It's embeddable into the initial. Okay, so it might not actually be doing another full load. It's just the hydrating. Okay, well, we'll roll with it. Let's see. So now let's see if my theory is true. So we actually will move this to here. I don't know if I can do that. Because this is not a Svelte file. Curious. I guess it still didn't have a problem. Let's stop this logging. Okay. Let us return stories. Let's just return it as is. Can we just do that? Oh, yeah, we can. Yeah, look, returned everything raw. Okay, that's good. So I wonder if it makes sense to actually, yeah, do the parsing in the request here. So which means maybe not, I don't know. Let's see, should the homepage, yeah, the homepage should care about the keys, but maybe it doesn't care about the cleaning here. Those are two separate things. So let's see, stories. Let's look at what parse stories does again. So it does the cleaning, and then maybe this is a separate situation. So maybe I'll actually rename this to clean stories. Which, and then this thing can be its own little function. Seems a little more flexible. And then filter story props. Wait, stories. Yeah. Okay. Which will be yoink. So actually this needs just to be like that now. That's clean stories. And this is export filter story props, which does take data and keys. Cool. All right, so we've got clean stories. Yes, I know you're not gonna be happy, and this will be over here, import filter story props slash filters. Okay. And then it would be const. Actually, we'll wait.
Change the line 17 on that file.
Thank you kindly. We're actually just going to delete that altogether for now. And everything is going to happen inside of here. And stories right now doesn't even exist. Just do that. Okay. So we're going to basically be like, hit this API, get the data. I feel like we'll pass actually in parameters here. This is where we can maybe pass in the keys and tell it to filter what we need. I have no idea how to pass in parameters. That's way too many things. Endpoints. Params. Wait, that's for. It says it takes. Honestly, don't know how this works. It's like a fetch. Actually, just there you go. Okay. Just try that. Keys. So then, sorry, stories, clean stories. Probably do it beforehand. I don't know when this should happen. Clean data equals. Actually, no, I'll just go with stories. Okay. And let's actually console.log params. It looks like it already passes something slug. I don't know what's happening. Params is undefined. That's not cool. Let's go back to the SvelteKit example. Oh, are params just the oh, is it the URL parameters? I don't even know anymore. Do you have to pass it in here? Okay, well, let's first, let's go back to just.
I got nothing. You're doing great.
Thank you, really appreciate that. I really don't think that's the ticket, but this is what happens when a front-end person starts messing around with server-side stuff. Stories, params. Yeah, we're still empty here. Let's not deconstruct and just see what. Oh, look at that. I think I was partially right. Okay, so we should, I think we should be able to pass something. Oh, you know what? Params must be. Actually, I'm not going to pretend I know what it is. I wonder if it is this because they were using slug as an example, which is like in the URL itself. But look, we were able to do search parameters. Maybe let's roll with that. I feel like, all right, well, we know we can definitely grab some data from there somehow. All right, so back to our data, we're returning body. Let's just make sure the console log data. Did we, oh yeah, we cleaned the data. So that's data. We parse JSON. And really that's actually what we want. Hold on while I check my Slack DMs. Okay, I think this should be working again. A lot of question marks in my voice. Let's change something up here. Let's go back to, let's change it to deck. I don't know why stuff is still logging out. Why is stuff still logging out? Whatever, let's, oh, look, it's working. All right, it worked. Let's actually do just a test now and go ahead and call the import filter story props. Okay, and then somewhere in here, say, output equals props. I think we need to pass it data and keys is an array. And right now it's just hard code keys to be equal to head and deck. And body will just be output. And just to see if it's again working, let's head deck. And we know this should also be slug, but that one should be undefined. Deck slug. Oops, didn't like something. Oh shucks. Cannot load data. Cool. Output filter story props. First of all, I don't know why it keeps console logging. Oh, good job. Okay, we're back. Sweet. Look at that. It did exactly what we wanted it to do. So slug was undefined. So now if we just add slug back in here, there it is. I feel accomplished. How do you feel, Jan?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what happened, but it looked like magic.
It's a little magic. I mean, basically this is basically all server sidey stuff. So like server side code. So all this is happening like in this pre-render stage, which means I'm curious now when we run the build, it's basically should be able to generate all this stuff as static files, which means the current didn't like something. Oh, this was our thing from before when I think this is fine. Look at the last episode and you'll understand what that is. So if we were to look at the docs folder, which should now have the new build, I think. If we, all right, it won't work from here. Oh, that's the old build. Shoot, it didn't work. Something changed.
Theoretically, that should only have, I guess right now, head, deck, and slug attached to it.
Yes. All right, I don't have the build folder. Well, let's see, it's config. I changed the config. Website too. Was that the problem? I totally forgot. I have to go watch the old video. Well, let's still work with the testing video. I mean, sorry, the testing branch. But the idea, right, yeah, is yes, the data being served. So let's actually log out the data. Is only, it's like really streamlined this. It's just those things. So now like when we actually look at what's being rendered statically to the actual files themselves, it's just going to be that stuff rather than all the other extra data. And that would be nice because then smaller page weight, everything's snappier. That's the goal. All right. I feel like that's a good stopping place. I should probably read up more on our endpoint stuff here, because I think the next step will be like, yeah, passing this stuff in as some sort of parameter or property, so it's a little more reusable. And then also figuring out why the build isn't working. And then all those other things on the list. But all right, that's it for now. Thanks for joining, Jan.